decimal numbers, writing in figure form from words. What are they? Numbers that use a decimal point followed by digits. Why? To give out more accurate scores in the Olympics or any other sport for that matter. Interesting fact, ponies are easy to look after, requiring half the food that a horse would if it were the same weight. So let's read the steps. Step 1, we need to find the word and because and represents the decimal point. Step 2, start reading from the left. Let's read the question. Please write the following number and figure, 6 and 4/10. So let's find the word and because that represents the decimal point. And let's start reading from the left. And in this case, we have the number 6. And we put 6 underneath the ones or units place value because it is a one-digit number. And now we continue down the line. In this case, we have 4/10. And since tenths is the last word, we can eliminate the place value hundreds because we need our last number to be underneath the place value of tenths. And in this case, it is 4. So our number is 6.4. Now let's move on to the next example where we have 58 hundredths. And in this case, we don't have the word and, but we do have the letters TH, S in hundredths, and that tells us it is a decimal number. Okay, so since we don't have the word and, we need to put the number 0 underneath the ones or units place value. And also another reason is because 58 hundredths is less than 1. Now, if we continue down the place value chart, let's go ahead and read the number again, 58 hundredths. So if we take a look at the first part of 58, which is 50, and we say that as 5 tens, so we put that 5 underneath the tenths, and we put the second part of 58, which is 8, underneath the hundredths, and our number is 0.58. Now let's take a look at the next example where we have 9 hundredths. Okay, so in this case, once again, we don't have the word and, but we do have the letters THS, and that represents a decimal number. Okay, so now we need to put a 0 underneath the ones or units place value. And another reason is because 9 hundredths is less than 1. Now if we continue down the line, we have tenths and hundredths. But our last word is hundredths, so we need to make sure our last number is in the hundredths place value. And since 9 is a one-digit number, in order to make sure that happens, we need to add a 0 or a placeholder underneath the tenths. And so now we can put the 9 underneath the hundredths, and our number is 0.09. Now let's take a look at the next example where we have 3 and 21 hundredths. Okay, so let's find the word and, because that represents our decimal point. Let's start reading from the left. And in this case, we have 3. So we put the 3 underneath the ones or units place value. And we continue down the line. In this case, we have 21 hundredths. And we can re-say 20 as 2 tens. So that 2 now goes underneath the place value of tenths. And the 1 goes underneath the place value of hundredths. And our number is 3.21. Let's take a look at the last example where we have 30 and 54 thousandths. Since our last word is thousandths, we need to add another place value, in this case, which is thousandths. And now we can go ahead and find the word and to find the decimal point. Now let's go ahead and start reading from the left. In this case, we have 30. We can re-say 30 as 3 tens. So we put the 3 underneath the tens and the 0 underneath the ones or units place value. Now let's continue down the line. Let's read again, 54 thousandths. Now some of you may think we put the 54 underneath the tenths and the hundreds, but the last word is thousandths. So we need to make sure the last number is underneath the thousandths place value. So in order to make sure that happens, we need to add a placeholder 0 to make sure 4 is in the thousandths place. So now we can put the 5 underneath the hundreds, and then we can put the 4 underneath the thousandths. So our number is going to be 30.054. Okay? And then now it is your turn. So go ahead and pause the video so you can answer these questions on your own pace. And I will show you the answers in 3, 2, 1. And here we go. If you got them correct, well done. If you didn't, there's always tomorrow.